to lead me to believe that the Cleveland Browns was going to dethrone the Baltimore Ravens for the division title.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know what the hell people was thinking on that one.
Yeah, I think we got caught up in the hype.
Yes.
Like, Baker had a hell of a rookie season. Like, no, I won't take nothing away from Baker on that one. Like, he set the record for most passing touchdowns by a rookie quarterback ever. Looked really solid. But for me, I kind of seen it in the last game of the season last year against Baltimore, where he was just making, like, he threw 3 interceptions. And, like, the last one, they driving down the field to try to beat us, win the game.
I saw it against our game that we had against them.
Yeah.
And you're talking about Kansas City had one of the worst defenses in the league.
Yeah.
And one thing they were able to do last year was put pressure on the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So they were tied with the Steelers. Kansas City Chiefs was tied with the Steelers for being able to get sacks and put pressures on the hits on the quarterback. And I didn't like the way he played under duress. Right, so here it is, a Kansas City Chiefs game last year where they're able to rush the quarterback, but we didn't have nobody in the damn secondary. Eric Berry, he was week to week, if you can remember that, disaster. We had no cornerbacks, so it was surprising to me to see him play the way he did against us.
Yeah.
So that for me put him on hold, right? Like, if you can't, nickel and dime a sorry secondary, right, with a good front, I got questions. I have questions for you.
That's one thing I will say as well in Baker's defense is that GM, he went all in with surrounding his team with a lot of paper talent. But as you and I, one of the main reasons why I love talking to you about football is we kind of see eye to eye of how to build a football team. Now, we're not GMs or nothing here, but we do see successful teams, and we do see what successful teams have in common, and it's usually a dominant front line.
Yes.
You always, like, one thing, you look at Super Bowl teams, I can guarantee that they have a very good offensive line, and they usually have a very good defensive and front seven line. You know what I'm saying?
That's the foundation.
That's the foundation. Cleveland does not have that. That offensive line is shit. And on top of that, they traded their best offensive lineman that past offseason in Zeitler to New York.
I'm still scratching my head.
I didn't get that at all. Like, I get you can go ahead and get another premier. Like, Olivier Vernon, he was a good player, but I'm not trading my best offensive lineman for him.
I agree.
Like, I'm good on that one. Odell Beckham trade, okay, you can go and get Odell for a late first rounder. I'll make that trade. But no, I'm not trading my foundation for another pass rusher who at best he's above average in my opinion. So I think they fucked up there. And Baker has been under pressure this whole season. Like, he's taken 27 sacks. I can only imagine how many hits he's taken. Plus, on top of that, he's a smaller dude.
Yes.
He's not, he can move, but he's not the most athletic quarterback. He's no Russell Wilson.
Very, very good point.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, you surrounded him. And Nick Chubb, shout out to Nick Chubb. I like him a lot. That boy run that rock.
Yeah, he's a good player.
He runs that rock. But, they got all the offensive weapons. Kareem Hunt, former running back for the Chiefs, he's looked pretty decent. He added another element to this offense, it looks like, especially with his pass catching out of the backfield. And Odell, he's finally getting back into the end zone, so, that's kind of probably going to keep him quiet. But overall, though, I'm kind of leaning with you on this one as well. Although, like, Cleveland, they have looked solid. The game is in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh are actually Cleveland's favorites by 1.5. So this pretty much is a pick'em game. Fuck.
It's a tough one.
Yeah, it is. It is. I picked Pittsburgh to get into the playoffs. I think Mike Tomlin, this defense, they just got the pedigree, and I think it kind of continues here. I think they'll get the victory at home against Cleveland. It's going to be a close one again, though, I believe. Did you give a score?
I did not.
Yeah, what you?
I did not.
Yeah, give us a score before I give my score.
I'm gonna go 17-14 on this one.
Okay, I'm thinking more 24-21.
24-21.
Yeah, I think Pittsburgh gets a field goal at the end of the game to win it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and a defensive stance, I should say. So they'll kick the field goal and then go on defense to stop Cleveland from advancing.
Got you.
Yeah.
See, I'm expecting Pittsburgh to play good defense. Try to confuse the quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, and hang around. Make a few good plays, big plays here and there, and pull it out.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see a couple of turnovers by Baker in this game. He has been turnover prone this season. What he got? 14 interceptions?
Yeah, he's up there.
I think it's 14 interceptions. I'm looking at it. 13 interceptions. So, yeah. Hold on. No. I'm lying. Sorry, guys. Yeah, 13 interceptions, 14 touchdowns so far this season. So, yeah, I think I could see Baker making a crucial mistake and kind of losing that game. Yeah, you remember when that draft happened and you and I was talking about it, and I was like, yo, you the Cleveland Browns, you have a chance to get the best player in that draft, which I believe was Saquon Barkley. And
that is accurate.
And then you had the number 4, even though Lamar Jackson, he might have something to say about that. But then on top of that, so you can draft Saquon number 1.
Right about that point.
And then they had the 4th overall pick, and they could have fucked around and got a Lamar Jackson.
They sure could have.
But at the same time, if Lamar goes to that team, he might not be what he is right now.
I agree with that. It's situations that you fall into.
It's crazy,
right?
yeah.
I mean, him being paired with Harbaugh, I thought was a perfect scenario for him.
I agree. Yeah, we went all in with him, and we don't know if Cleveland would have did the same thing for him.
Yes,
like I don't.
Certain things are like synergy, right?
Yeah.
Where 1 + 1 does not equal 2; it's 3.
Yeah,
like peanut butter and jelly, right? You add those two together, and it's like an explosion.
It's an elite combination.
Yes, an elite combination. Exactly. So, and although my beliefs on what Lamar Jackson can do as a player would not have changed, I think it would have had an opposite effect of whatever the hell you would call it,
right? In
terms of what synergy is.
Yeah, it seems like quarterbacks that go to Cleveland, I don't know, it just seems like they're destined to fail.
Yes,
I don't know, like that franchise is so poisonous. I don't get it. Like, think about all the quarterbacks that they drafted, like from the Tim Couches to the Kelly Holcombs to the Johnny Manziels to the Brandon Wheatons. They drafted a fucking 27-year-old quarterback in the first round.
Yes. Only the Browns.
Like, what was your mindset behind that?
Only the Browns.
They had another quarterback, too, Brady Quinn.
Yes.
And it's just quarterbacks just go there. They had RG3 there at one point.
Mm-hmm.
They just go there to die, man. Like, I'm glad. I'm so happy.
It says,
so happy.
As you enter into the city of Cleveland, it says, welcome to Cleveland, the place where the quarterbacks die.
Sorry, Cleveland.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
It's all good, though, man. But, yeah.
But the dog pound, I give it to you guys. You guys are loyal fan. You have a loyal fan base.
Yeah, you do.
But you got to do something with that organization in terms from the top, starting with ownership, I guess,
You know what I said? I was talking about Cleveland on the episode, and I was saying that if I'm them, like Ozzie Newsome may have been retired. He may have retired. Right now he's in the consultant role with Baltimore. Everybody got their price.
Sure do.
I would go to Ozzie, be like, yo, man, what is it going to take for you to come out of retirement and come build this team from top to bottom?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Ozzie, to me, is the greatest GM of all time. If you can go ahead and get him and have him build that team up for you guys, you might want to go ahead and open up that checkbook. But, hey, we got him.
Ozzie can help him with putting the right kind of talent on the field.
But also
cultivating that talent
so he can grab them the talent, but then he can also hire the coach, because I don't think Freddie Kitchens is it. I think he'll be able to get them an actual head coach that's going to change the culture. So the whole overall aura of the team, I think, will change with the GM hiring.
And Ozzie's been around for some time where he could put together a staff.
He knows.
Yeah,
he knows who to hire.
Yes.
He got his hardball.
Highly respected, so that means people are going to flock to him for work.
Speaking of Ozzie, just to show him some love real quick, this dude has drafted, since becoming the Baltimore Ravens GM, he's drafted potentially 4 Hall of Famers. Like, not too many GMs got that on their resume. Like Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, Terrell Suggs, and Jonathan Ogden. Terrell Suggs is the probable, but those other 3 are actual Hall of Famers right now. And when Terrell Suggs retire, more than likely he can be a Hall of Famer as well. Just think about that.
Well, Suggs was that dude too.
Exactly.
So I can see why you put him there. Yeah.
Yeah. Sizzle, baby.
Sizzle.
Next game on the slate here, we got Philadelphia at Miami. And Philly is favorites, -8.5. Miami has been playing tough. Like, they're not an easy out. However, Philly should not lose this game.
I agree with that.
Top to bottom, they're more talented. They have the better quarterback. They have the better team overall. Even with all the injuries to their receiving core, there is no excuse for them to lose this game. And on top of that, they got a chance to go ahead and tie Dallas for this division with winning this game with the egg that Dallas dropped on Thanksgiving. Carson Wentz. I'm a Sixers fan and I follow Sixers Twitter. So with me following Sixers Twitter, I kind of get just Philadelphia news
via osmosis.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I get Eagles news on that. So I've seen how fans react. And like, it's a lot of blame going towards Carson Wentz, which I kind of understand.
Do you feel it's rightfully so?
I kind of understand it. Now, I don't watch too many Philadelphia Eagles games, but the games I have watched, I've seen Carson Wentz, make some bad throws, but at the same time, it's like, he'd be dropping dimes, and then this receiver's just dropping everything.
Yes, like the receiver hands has been oiled down, right?
I watched that Patriots game. He hit Nelson Aguilar in the back of the end zone for the game-time touchdown, right in his hands. Just dropped it.
It's hard to put it on him when you see that.
That shit I'm like, oh my God. And then last week, I'm like, man, it's tough. It's tough for them, man.
But I feel like the team, to some extent, is a reflection of their quarterback, right?
That's fair.
Because you look at the same Eagles team under Nick Foles. For whatever reason, that team had good energy, great chemistry with Nick Foles, right? You insert Wentz back into the lineup, and like you said, you'll watch him make a few throws, and it's like, well, what the hell were you thinking? And then he'll turn around and drop a dime like you just said. So he's been kind of inconsistent.
Up and down.
He's been consistent with being inconsistent. Okay. And with that, that's the type of product they're going to put on the field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel you on that one. Key to the game for me on this one here, I think that Philadelphia has to get their running game going. They're going to Miami, so weather shouldn't be a factor unless it's like raining. The receivers, Philadelphia is hurt right now. I think if they can get the running game going, and they signed SYE, the offensive line, they just gave Lane Johnson a big contract. I'm not sure if you've seen that.
I did
right
not.
Tackle, he had 4 years, like $75 million or some shit like that, $71 million.
Getting paid, big fella.
Got paid. Defense is still pretty solid. I think honestly they should win this game handily, in my opinion. Like, I got to score 27-13. I like Miami. I like Flores. I like the direction he has that team going. They're just talent deprived, Miami. But the one thing I do see from them, every game they are competing. Like, they're playing their hearts out, and they're just not good enough. You know what I mean? They're just not. You got Fitzpatrick as your quarterback, and then you got Josh Rosen as the backup, who I was never a big fan of. Period. They're just a talent deprived team, but they play tough. But honestly, I think the Eagles should be able to go ahead and handle them pretty easily. I got 27-13. What's your thoughts?
I don't think they're going to cover that one.
No?
No. I'm expecting them to win. They should win.
Philly is favorites by 8.5.
By 8.5 points. Yes. So with that, I'm going to go more so like 24-17. Yeah. 24-17 Philly.
Okay. I can do that.
Yeah.
Next game here, Green Bay, New York. The Giants are a fun team. If I was a betting man, which I'm not, they're one of those teams that I kind of be betting on. Like last week, I picked them to cover, which they did. They lost the game, but they did cover. This game, Green Bay coming off that embarrassing loss against the 49ers on, was that a Sunday nighter? That's a Sunday nighter.
It was a night game.
Yeah, it's a Sunday nighter. They just got killed. Like, that was bad. I did not realize how bad Green Bay receivers were.
Fair point.
Like, Devontae Adams, outside of him, they got nobody.
They're lacking depth.
Really, yeah. Like,
absolutely.
Jimmy Graham, he's washed. I remember Jimmy Graham at one point was considered one of the best tight end in the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
With him and Gronk.
There were talks about him being looked at as like that elite class with Shannon Sharp, Tony Gonzalez.
All-time great,
you know, those type of players.
Yeah. Kellen Winslow's.
Yeah.
That boy is a shell of himself. That shit is crazy how players just fall off like that.
You think you wish he stayed in New Orleans?
I don't even know it's that. Because, can you really blame that? Because he went from Drew Brees to Russell Wilson to Aaron Rodgers.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you had three of the premier quarterbacks